Hi, how are you? Today I'm doing a sort of like webcam video as opposed to the one I usually do with my normal camera, and it's weird because I'm looking at myself and I'm not used to this. Anyway, I did this sort of in an effort to kind of mimic what it would be like to have a conversation with me, because it's like we can pretend we're having a Skype conversation. So yay, let's see if we like this. Also because my camera has just been very temperamental lately. Anyway, I went on Tumblr and I asked, what is a question that you've always wanted answered? And here's some of my responses to your questions. Why am I me and not somebody else? Chance, did you know that we share 70% of our DNA with a slug? So you and a slug have literally most things in common. You have nearly everything in common with a primate who is 98.4% identical to you. Why aren't you a slug? Why aren't I? What's up in space? It depends what you mean by space. Space is a relative concept and can be all-encompassing as well as very specific and narrow. I'm assuming you're talking about outside of the Earth's atmosphere, for which the answer is literally almost everything. Almost everything that exists is outside of this planet. The scope of the universe is so vast that the Earth to the universe is not even as significant as a singular atom is to your body. Think about this. 99.9999999% of the mass in the universe is plasma, yet plasma is the least abundant physical state in this planet. Will win the 2012 election. Barack Obama. Duh. But just barely. I think a lot of people are overestimating his chances, and I do think that Mitt Romney has a very good chance of winning, especially considering a lot of the economic tensions and social tensions in the state of this country right now that a lot of people don't really put into account. But I think my man Barry is going to pull it off. He's going to do a good job. Does a full jar take up the same amount of space as an empty jar, meaning they would have the same mass? I'm not sure if I understand your question. On Earth, it's near impossible for something not to be filled by something else unless you're in a vacuum. Jars are always filled, unless a vacuum is cinched to the top, sucking out all the gases from inside. Whether there is mostly gas or mostly liquid or solid does not change the mass of the jar itself, because in so being a jar, the material inside it never becomes the jar. It's just two separate things around each other. How can some people be so cruel-hearted and murderous? Allow me to quote my favorite opening lines to any book I've ever read. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all people in this world haven't had the advantages that you have had. I've been curious to know your feelings about such things as fan art and fan fiction. I support any and all creative outlets unless they encourage rape, discrimination, or violence. What's Beast's name from Beauty and the Beast? I know this one. Although the movie never gave him a name, the stage musical names him Prince Adam. So yeah, Beast is called Prince Adam. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Scientists still don't know, and it depends on how you define chicken or egg. As my lawyer brother would say, define your terms! But I'm partial to the idea that egg. In nature, living things evolve through small changes in their DNA. In an animal like a chicken, DNA from a male sperm cell and a female ovum, or the egg, meet and combine to form a zygote, the first cell of a new baby chicken. The first cell divides innumerable times to form all the cells of the complete animal. In any animal, every cell contains exactly the same DNA, and that DNA comes from the zygote. From zygote to hatchling, the first chicken, or what would be considered the first chicken, would have to be produced from a mutation resulting from non-chicken parents. Is it obvious that I like science a lot, guys? Is it? Is it also obvious that I'm exceedingly distracted by my image? I don't know if I can do this. I like it when it's the camera, and I'm like, la 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 la. Girl, you need to get your eyebrows did. What you doing? What you doing, girl?